It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Scooters Coffee and Rescue Towing. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. Conditions across the Ozarks today are going to be stormy on this Wednesday. We've got a lot to get to with severe weather on the way. In fact, 2 rounds possible today. The first showing up on the radar already. So could be a stormy morning drive for many places across the Ozarks. I think the biggest threats with this morning round of rainfall are going to be for some very damaging wind gusts, torrential downpours. There is a hail threat with this as well. And then another threat for severe weather develops this afternoon, closer to a cold front that will be pushing through. The secondary round is likely going to be for the southern Ozarks, but it has the potential for all modes of severe weather. So we've got a lot to keep track of this morning. It is definitely a day that you want to have your weather resources handy and know your safe spot in no matter what location you're in. If you're at work, if you're at school, if you're en route, just make sure you time these things out very carefully as we go through the course of the day today. I expect that temperatures are going to start out in the upper 50s, low 60s for most of you. That's where we are as of 5 a.m. And once again, I have temps that are going to warm up into the upper 70s, but we'll have rain and storms around. So temperature today, very dependent on whether or not it's actually raining. It's going to be one of those days where you look at the temperature trend and it's gone up and down all day because of the rain-cooled air in the region. Severe weather in the forecast, though, today, this first round happening early this morning is going to be more widespread. I think almost everyone in the Ozarks is affected by this. And then a second round this afternoon will likely develop just south of I-44. That's going to sweep through the southeastern Ozarks back into north central Arkansas, all the way into portions of Arkansas. We're talking Louisiana and northeast Texas getting involved in this severe threat today. This extends all the way east into much of the Tennessee Valley, even southern Illinois, going to see some of this strong to severe weather today. So a big portion of the country under what we call an enhanced risk for severe weather. And as I've already mentioned, a couple rounds are going to be possible. This round pushing through early this morning, it's possible to see all modes of severe weather. But as I said, I think some of the biggest risks with this early round include the damaging winds and the hail. I think that we're going to want to watch the radar very carefully, though, because we get closer to the lunch hour and round 1 starts to taper off in the Ozarks. Round 2 just gets going. I think that happens shortly after the lunch hour. And then the radar should be dry tonight by the time we get to sunset. It's going to be very active, though, between the hours of, well, right now, 5 o'clock in the morning through about 10 p.m. tonight for many places across the region. Large hail to the size of baseballs is going to be the threat. Yes, baseballs. I mean, that could do some serious damage, but that's the kind of energy that we have in place with this storm system. There's going to be additional chances for another little push of what we call lift in the atmosphere as the front comes through later. Some supercells could develop. And when that happens, the storms are actually able to fuel themselves a little bit better. So I think hail to the size of baseballs will be possible. There could also be some tornadic activity, particularly with the second round of storms that happens later this afternoon. That one, as I mentioned, likely developing just south of I-44. So I'm hopeful that Springfield can stay out of the second round of rain and storms. We will see those marching to the south and east as we go through the course of the day. When I time this out for you, here's what it looks like. I expect that the hours of noon to 3 may be kind of the lull in activity where we have a little bit of dry time between the 2 rounds of storms. And the second one is likely to impact more of our southeastern counties. So if you are listening from West Plains, from Rolla, from Lebanon to Bolivar, that's where I think we're going to likely see the second round of storms later in the afternoon. And then we're talking maybe a couple rounds of storms for places in the central portion of the listening area. We also have a localized flooding as this rainfall comes through. And not only will we see thunderstorms capable of producing the hazards I already mentioned, but we're talking maybe in the scale of 1 to 3 inches with some of these thunderstorms. It will pour for a time being if you get right underneath some of the storms. So localized flooding, especially in places that are low-lying, prone to flooding. If you've seen it the last couple of weeks, you're likely going to see some issues with high water again. So that's an issue for us as we go through the course of the day as well. Best chance for seeing some of that excessive rainfall is going to be in the eastern Ozarks, a line from Mountain Home in Arkansas back through West Plains. That will likely be the biggest threat for some flooding risks as we go through the course of the day. Then the cold front comes through. And because of that, we will see a cooler pattern develop Thursday, Friday, and through the weekend. We're also going to see some more comfortable temperatures here. We're talking near 70 degrees. So we cut some of the humidity out of the forecast. We see the temperature cool off, and things will calm down for us a little bit as well. Around the country, what's making headlines? It's these severe storms. All eyes on us here in the central part of the country for the Midwest, the Tennessee, and the lower Mississippi valleys. Heavy snowfall also is in the forecast and is set to impact the northern Rockies today, well below temperatures happening out west in the Intermountain West. And then record-breaking heat is making a headline for much of South Texas. That is going to be the case today and tomorrow. In fact, they could see some triple-digit heat in Texas. So our friends down south have already started summertime. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister trivia question for the day. Did you know this one? This is what I left you with yesterday. What is the color of your blood when it is inside your body? Do you think it is A, red, B, blue, C, clear, or D, purple? Well, this was not a trick question. You might have thought it was a trick question. It's not. It's A. Red is the answer. And of course, that's the color it is when it comes out, too. So now you know. A, the answer. Congrats if that was your guess on our Brain Twister trivia question. Here is the question that I will leave you with for tomorrow. Famous American architect Frank Lloyd Wright once thought of a building as a mile-high skyscraper. It would be the tallest building in the world. What did he call that building? Do you think it was A, the Missouri, B, the Kentucky, C, the Illinois, or D, the Tennessee? You can submit your guess to our Brain Twister trivia question every single day. It is free to enter, and you could win a $20 gift card to Scooter's Coffee every single weekday. Thank you so much to our sponsors, Scooter's Coffee and Rescue Towing. You know who to call if you have an issue on the roads today. I hope everybody stays safe, though. We want everyone to stay safe from the strong to severe thunderstorms moving through the Ozarks. Make sure you have your phones on, you're prepared to receive watches and warnings, and think about your plan through the course of the day. What's the best spot in my house to go? You want to put as many walls between yourself and the outdoors as absolutely possible. And of course, if you can get underground or into a storm shelter, if you're under a tornado warning, that would be the best choice. If not, interior room away from windows. Think about your plans through the course of the day. I hope everybody stays safe. We will chat again tomorrow morning. I will talk to you then.